All right, everyone. Welcome back to Detroit Sports Flow here with BK and Speaks. This week's episode, we will be covering the Detroit Pistons' upcoming series in the playoffs versus the New York Knicks. Going to be an absolute showdown here, Speaks. To give you the fast flow here on the episode, we will be diving into the matchups between the two teams. Additionally, where we see the Pistons can succeed, and then also taking a peek at where we could run into some troubles here with the Knicks. It's going to be a fun series to watch.
It's going to be a really fun series to watch. It's been over a decade since the Pistons have been in this position in the playoffs. We're going to hear some Detroit basketball with a little Mason. It's going to be fun. Like BK said, we're going to talk about matchups, predictions, X factors. Let's jump right into it, BK. Where do you see this series going, and where do you think we have the upper hand?
Well, I think Cade Cunningham's the best player on the floor.
100%.
I think Cade Cunningham
question.
is past Jalen Brunson. I think the issue that we could run into with Brunson is he's a foul merchant, so he gets our guys into foul trouble. But the way we play defense speaks, the matchups we can throw at these guys, the way that we can play the game in any different style that any team wants to throw at us gives us a bit of an advantage here. I think it's going to be back and forth. I think the Knicks have the superstars to obviously do it, but the Pistons are built as a team. The culture's there.
Yes.
They got that bad boys mentality, and they're going to come out and show it.
Yeah, we're not afraid to play anyone, and we really excelled when we played in Madison Square Garden. Cade Cunningham specifically really excelled when he played at MSG or the Knicks. Cade Cunningham loves the spotlight. He loves the bright lights. He loves the big stage. There isn't a bigger stage than playing at MSG. And Cade thrived playing against the Knicks. We were 3-1 against the Knicks. Cade averaged 30.8 points, 8.3 assists a game versus the Knicks. Everything that Cade does is amazing, and he likes this bright lights. I don't see anyone on their roster who can stop them. And in the NBA, in the playoffs, it's all about superstars, and I don't see anyone on that team who can slow Cade down.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think they'll probably throw OG Anunoby at him.
They'll try.
Their big power forward. He's a very good defender. I think that's where they're going to try to match up with us there.
They also need his offense, though, and if he's going to try to play defense on Cade, that's not going to help them on the offensive end.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think that's where they're going to go with it, though, or there's going to be Mikal Bridges on him. Bridges is historically a pretty good defender as well. The Knicks have all the guns to do this, and I think the Pistons, they're kind of playing with house money here, but nobody really wants to see them in the playoffs because they know they're in for a tough series. I think we're able to throw bodies at their bigs too.
Same.
Karl Anthony Towns is their big over there. He's kind of
soft.
A little soft, whereas Jalen Duren, the Detroit Pistons center, is more of a physical body, really can dominate in the paint. I think that's going to give Karl Anthony Towns a lot of problems.
And if he gets in foul trouble, we got Beef Stew who can come in and do the same thing and cause the same disruption. Great rim stopper. He'll go up with anyone. And like you said, Duren, the physicality he has, just himself, and then that he can press Towns on, that's going to be very impressive, and it's going to be a fun matchup to watch.
Yeah, Isaiah Stewart's a big key here, though, too. He's been one of the best rim protectors all year long. I think if they can keep New York from getting to the basket, it becomes a shooting contest for them. We have some shooters that can shoot with them.
Oh, yeah.
Malik Beasley has been very good this year.
What an addition.
Second in the league in three-pointers total, so he's been outstanding. Tim Hardaway Jr. has been great for us as well. I think if those guys can hit their shots and we're able to, contain them on the defensive side of the ball, I think we're in good shape here.
Yeah, Malik Beasley might be the sixth man of the year, so I think we have the best player coming off the bench between the two teams. He really excelled coming over this year in free agency. Great signing. I love everything about his game and what he brings to Detroit. There was rumors going around at the trade deadline that teams wanted him to make a playoff run. He's like, I want to stay right here in Detroit. That speaks volume to the culture that J.B. Bickerstaff is bringing to the Pistons organization that we didn't even sniff last year with Monty Williams. So I think we also have a better coach. Tibbs is a defensive coach. The NBA these days is all about offense, especially in the playoffs. So I think we have the upper hand in a lot of different things, and I think this is the matchup we wanted, BK.
I think where you're talking about Thibodeau being such a good defensive coach, that's great, but Detroit also plays a defensive style,
We sure do.
which is very tough to deal with. Will he be able to get the sets going where he'll be able to take advantage of any of those things? I don't think so. So when I'm looking at what we have with the defensive side of the ball here, Speaks, we have Asar Thompson, who happens to be one of the best outside defenders in the entire league. I think that'll cause them a lot of problems on the outside with, Jalen Brunson being a foul merchant. But Asar Thompson is lengthy. He does a lot there. So I think you'll see that matchup a lot. And then the other guy coming off the bench who can really give you a spark defensively is the other rookie, or young guy, rookie in this case, Ron Holland. And Ron Holland really has brought his game to a next level here in the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, Ron Holland was a great pick for us. He fits our culture, and he's so young, and you hear Cade and the guys talk about him. He's already playing this good as a rookie. Just imagine how good he's going to get, but I think he is a great player to come off the bench. And then you mentioned Asar Thompson. Since we have inserted him in the offensive into the starting lineup, our team has excelled just tremendously. The versatility he has and the defense he brings on every possession. He plays both sides of the ball. I love everything about Asar Thompson's game. And then Ron Holland does the same thing. He plays great defense, very gritty, and he can get to the rim at will, and he's not afraid of anyone. He'll duke it right up. I love me some Ron Holland. It's going to be a physical series, and I think this really bodes well for us. Ivy was starting to run today for the first time. We still got Sasser. We got Fontecchio. We got a deep team, and I think we match up in each position group very well.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's a situation where, they didn't want to see us.
No.
This is not something that the Knicks wanted to deal with in the first round. I think with us and what we can bring to the table, it's going to be very problematic for them. I don't know if we have the guns to beat them necessarily. But the other thing you talk about with Asar Thompson is you say, hey, his defensive game is great. His offense has been ascending late in the season. I think he's becoming more of an offensive threat, very good at getting to the rim. He can cause them some problems there. And then he also has the ability to rebound if we have to go to small lineups.
And the basketball IQ.
Exactly.
Through the roof.
I think Thompson will be a big key for us there. But the other big key here is the shooting on the outside. I think that's going to come down to Tim Hardaway Jr. and then also Malik Beasley, like we mentioned a little bit earlier. Those guys are going to have to knock down those open shots. But if we're able to shoot it like we've been doing all year, the Knicks are going to have a lot of problems here, and we'll see if we can pull it off.
Let's get into the series itself. We obviously start in New York this Saturday, April 19th, 6 p.m., ESPN. BK, how do you see this Game 1 going versus the Knicks Game 1 here at MSG?
They're going to be ready to go. There's no question. Everybody's talking like the Pistons can potentially knock them off. I think they're going to be ready to go here. I think the Knicks are going to come out hot. I think the Knicks win Game 1. But then when I'm looking at Game 2, I think the Pistons could steal one in New York there on Monday.
I'm going the opposite way. We're playing with house money. I think we steal the first game in MSG in New York. I think Cade has a big game. I think we actually win pretty substantially, at least by 10 points in this game. That's how confident I am going into this game. Then I think we take a step back in Game 2. Series is leveled, and then we go back to Little Caesars Arena with the crowd just pumping with Mason. I can't wait for the intros there. It's going to be a fun time. So I think we go up 2-1 in Game 3. And then where do you see things going at that Game 3? Sorry.
I think we're going to run. I think you're right. I think the home court is going to play a factor. They might steal one there as well. I don't think teams just run the home court in this series. I think it's going to be back and forth. I do know that we shut down ticket prices and ticket purchasing in New York because they are able to take over opposing teams' arenas with with the type of money that they have in New York.
Yep.
We're not allowing them to purchase our tickets, so that tells me that we're going to have a full crowd. We're going to be ready to go. It's going to be rocking and roaring, and I think we're going to end up taking some games here in Detroit. And I think, after Game 4 speaks, I think we could be tied up 2-2.
See, that's where I think it is. So after Game 4, I got the series at 2-2. Let's head into Game 5, back at MSG. I think we steal this game. I think we go up 3-2, and then we go back to Detroit and finish them off 4-2. That's my prediction for this series. We win the series 4-2.
I like that. So you're thinking we're going to win Game 4 then?
Yes.
So you're thinking Game 4 and Game 5 with the momentum. I like it. I think this is going 7 speaks. I think it's going to go back and forth again. I think it's going to be 1-1 in that situation, and then it's going to go to Game 7 down in the Garden. And I think the Pistons got a shot, but it's just going to come down to the shooting. What do we have on the outside? How are we playing defensively? Are we able to rattle their superstars? Are the officials going to give Jalen Brunson that whistle? That becomes the real question here. And I think, we're going to pull it off in Game 7, but I think it's going to be tight till the finish.
I don't know if you caught Cade's interview going into this playoff series, but he said he wants to be known as the best basketball player in the world. He has it on his phone. He wakes up, looks at it every single day. I want to be the best basketball player in the world. I think that is going to transcend in this series, and everyone, not just us local Detroit fans, are going to just see how good Cade Cunningham is. He's going to take the world by storm in this series at the Mecca, at MSG, and then back home at Little Caesars Arena, and he is going to take over this series. He's going to be the biggest X factor there is, and he is going to show everyone why he will be an MVP candidate, if not the MVP of the league next year. I think he's that good, and I love everything about Cade's demeanor, leadership, basketball IQ. If it wasn't for Cade, we're not here, and I think he takes this series over, BK.
I could see it. I think, it's a situation where Cade Cunningham could come in and have a playoff just like Luka Doncic had last year, where he just put the Mavericks on his back. He was too difficult to defend, and they just ended up running it basically all the way to the conference semis.
Yes.
So it's a or conference finals.
And Cade plays both sides of the ball, unlike Luka.
Right, exactly. So that's where the benefit comes in with Cade. I think I can absolutely see him taking over the series in that way. And if he's got the pieces around him, the Knicks might be in trouble here.
Knicks might be in trouble. They're going to be in trouble. But that's all the time we have. Thanks for joining us on another episode of Detroit Sports Flow with BK and Speaks. You Blue Kool-Aid and Pistons drinkers, have a great rest of your days, you filthy animals.
Go Pistons. Detroit basketball.